Taurus is often described as the most stable, grounded, and emotionally secure sign of the zodiac. They are seen as calm, reliable, unshakable. The ones who don't panic, don't rush, and don't lose control. From the outside, Taurus looks like emotional safety itself. But this image hides a deeper truth that very few people ever notice. Taurus doesn't just value stability, they cling to it. And beneath their composed exterior lives an intense emotional attachment that they rarely acknowledge, let alone express. What looks like calm is often containment. What looks like patience is often fear of loss. Taurus doesn't fake stability to deceive others. They do it to convince themselves that everything is still under control. From early on, Taurus learns that security equals survival. Emotional, financial, and relational safety become the foundation of their inner world. Change feels threatening not because Taurus lacks courage, but because instability activates a deep fear of losing what they've worked so hard to protect. So Taurus builds walls of routine, loyalty, and predictability. They attach to people, places, habits, and even pain, not because it's healthy, but because it's familiar. This attachment becomes their anchor, but also their trap. Taurus would rather stay in something that hurts than risk losing something that feels known. Stability, for Taurus, is not just comfort, it's emotional oxygen. In relationships, this hidden attachment shows up quietly but powerfully. Taurus loves slowly, but once they love deeply and completely. They don't fall easily, but when they do, they bind themselves emotionally in ways they may never admit. They remember details, routines, shared spaces, and emotional patterns. Losing a relationship doesn't just mean losing a person. It means losing an entire emotional ecosystem they built brick by brick. That's why Taurus may appear calm during breakups while internally unraveling. They rarely beg or dramatize, but the grief settles into their body, their habits, their silence. They carry loss longer than anyone realizes. Taurus often hides this attachment behind pride and self-control. They tell themselves they're fine. They focus on work, routine, physical comfort, and productivity. They keep going, functioning, surviving. But emotional detachment is not the same as emotional release. Taurus stores feelings instead of processing them. They repress longing, jealousy, fear, and sadness because expressing them feels unsafe. Vulnerability threatens their image of control. So they endure quietly, convincing themselves that strength means not needing anyone while secretly needing connection more than most. This is why Taurus struggles with letting go. Whether it's a person, a dream, or a version of the past, Taurus holds on long after the emotional expiration date. Not because they are stubborn by nature, but because release feels like collapse. Letting go feels like stepping into emotional chaos, and chaos is Taurus' greatest fear. Stability becomes their shield, but also the reason they stay emotionally stuck. They fear that without what they're holding on to, they'll lose themselves entirely. Ironically, the more Taurus suppresses their emotional attachment, the heavier it becomes. What isn't expressed turns into tension. What isn't released becomes resistance. Over time, this can manifest as emotional numbness, possessiveness, or silent resentment. Taurus may appear unbothered, but their inner world is often loud with unspoken emotions. They crave reassurance but struggle to ask for it. They want closeness but fear dependency. This internal conflict creates emotional exhaustion that no amount of physical comfort can fully soothe. Taurus also ties self-worth to consistency. They pride themselves on being dependable, loyal, and strong. But this creates pressure. They feel they must always be the steady one, the rock others lean on. Admitting emotional instability feels like failure. So they carry burdens silently, believing that asking for help would diminish their value. This is where Taurus' greatest vulnerability lies, not in weakness, but in the refusal to be weak. Their emotional attachment deepens because they don't allow themselves the relief of shared weight. Yet, This same attachment is also Taurus' greatest emotional strength. When Taurus learns to express instead of suppress, to release instead of cling, their capacity for love becomes extraordinary. Their loyalty transforms from fear-based attachment into conscious devotion. Their stability becomes grounding instead of restrictive. Taurus doesn't need to abandon their nature. They need to soften it. Stability doesn't mean rigidity. Security doesn't mean control. True safety comes from knowing that even if something ends, they remain whole. Healing for Taurus begins when they realize that loss does not equal destruction. Change does not erase identity. Letting go does not mean starting from nothing. It means making space for something aligned. When Taurus allows emotions to move instead of stagnate, they discover resilience they never knew they had. They learn that stability can exist within them, not just around them. And once that shift happens, their emotional attachment stops being a prison and becomes a choice. If this message resonated, if you saw yourself in Taurus' silent attachment and hidden emotional weight, know this. You are not weak for holding on. You are human, but you deserve peace, not just endurance. Stability should feel safe, not heavy. If this spoke to you, comment Taurus below. Like this video if you felt seen. Subscribe to continue this series where we reveal the truths each sign hides from the world and sometimes from themselves.